Hello and welcome to the F1 and Motorsport Show with me, Hugh Hatrick, and some very special guests back from last week to try again to see exactly what it's going to be like to do an F1 show. It is, of course, Simon Jerry. How are you doing,
Hello.
Simon?
Very
Good
well.
to see you.
Good
Very
to see
good.
you.
Yeah. And Rue is back again. How are you doing, Rue?
I'm
He's here.
more awake than last week, and I no longer have a massive headache, so that's good.
That is good
You
indeed.
never know.
Indeed. Well, we're going to do a Brazilian Grand Prix review because it really was a pretty decent race on Saturday. And
again.
I have to say, from us being slightly concerned that Lando might not be up to the task, he has performed extremely well. So we're going to talk about all of that. And I'll quickly welcome people in. We've got sim racing on PS3. We've also got cars. Ian is here as well. And we've got many others in the comments. So it's great to see you and welcome along. And you can post your comments there and we will do our best. I thought it was you, Umar, sim racing on PS3. I recognize that writing there anywhere. But good to see you all. And we're going to start talking about the Brazilian Grand Prix. It was good. It was actually really quite a decent race to watch. Lots of good overtaking, but crucially, big for the championship. Simon, I will come to you first. What was your kind of your overall review, first of all, of the sprint result, and then on the main race?
Sprint result. Well, that was a bit of a cock up, was it? When my predictions. Well, we didn't really look at that race, did we? We were talking more about the main race, but then again, I was wrong on that. But yeah, I mean,
you're correct, Simon. We didn't even mention that race, so
yeah. But yeah, it was a bit odd, wasn't it, with the damp conditions, and then blaming Norris for putting water on the track that was already there. But yeah, sprint for me.
yes.
Yeah, sprint for me. Just went and it sort of happened. You know, the big crashes maybe, but yeah, there wasn't a lot when happening there. But the race, yeah, you got to give it to Max again. But you know, they all saying that was a fantastic race. But if he didn't have DRS,
wow,
it might have been a little bit different.
Yeah.
And also he benefited from the safety. It was a
Yeah.
safety car restart.
Yes, and he had a puncture, didn't they? They brought him in because he had a puncture, and it was just perfect timing for him then.
It's perfect timing.
I did feel for
him off the hard.
Yeah, I did feel for poor.
This whole thing. Do you know that they're talking? Because at the moment you have to use at least 2 of the compounds, so they're forcing a pit stop. You know.
Yeah.
And at the time it was like, oh, yeah, all right. But now they're talking about forcing 2 pit stops so that it mixes it up a bit. It's like, well, why don't you just force a result? You remember when they used to do the pools, or not the pools, but they'd do a draw. There'd be someone with a bag on television going, oh, number 27. Just do that. Nobody knows what's going to happen then. That's jeopardy, isn't it? And then they can just have a car. What they need to do, they need to start showing reruns of wacky races. Then they pick the numbers out like a lottery. There you go. It will be more interesting, more realistic, I think.
That gave me a fright there. A cough there.
I was trying to do Thingy the dog, Dastardly. No, what was he called?
Mudley.
Yeah. It's Hindu. Good to see you. That's Simon Hindu spot on his forehead there. That is.
Hey, it's Paul. We got Paul in it.
Yes, we've got Paul in. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you all. Now, there's lots of, because there was a lot of controversy, especially with the Piastri penalty. I have to say, I'm more of the kind of decision that I think it was probably right. But I know, Rue, you've got some pictures there that might change that decision.
It wasn't right at all. It's insane.
They are. I didn't think you'd get a 10-second penalty. I think you'd only get a 5-second penalty. To be fair, yes. Why don't we share the pictures from the start, and we can have a look at that.
Incident. Why
didn't Antonelli get not allowed to race anymore? This is Formula One. You're not allowed to race.
Oh, overtaking. No. I mean, even it is Leclerc. Even he said
he admitted it, didn't he? He said, "Oh, I think."
And he was the one that
lost out. Yeah.
Where are your pictures?
It's ridiculous. Well, all right, calm down.
We've also got
Calm
pictures
down
of
here,
the
we're
new
not
Audi as well. The new Audi F1. We've got that too.
So let us share these little screenshots. Dear FOM. Come on, you got your turn now. Here, you got to press the
There we are.
button.
There we go.
Well,
Right, here we are. So this is the start. I'll let you go through it.
Click on there. So this is the restart after everybody went nuts. And Hamilton hit people and everybody hit people and cars crashed left, right and centre at the beginning. So the restart. And let me get the... Right, so you can see the three abreast. You got Norris at the left, and then behind, going left, centre, right. You've got it is Isla Clerk. You got little Gimme Antonelli with his mum in the back, making sure he drives properly, and then you've got Piastri down the side. Hello, I'm Australian. I'm coming through. So and he gets closer, and they approach the corner. And now he's had a really good run, as you'll see in the second set of photographs. He gets a really good run on Antonelli, and he's come up the inside. It's not the best angle, but I don't know if you noticed that in all the starts at the Brazilian Grand Prix, they only want you to see the front car. It was such a low angle, you could see nothing. So it's the same one. It goes down. You can see just starting to lock up the inside front tyre. And it goes, well, he's out of control. He's locked up. No, but it was the inside tyre. It's the unloaded tyre. It's not the one that's doing most of the turning. He's still turning around the corner. And Antonelli then squeezes him, as you can see there. And he's still locked. But he's following the line, following the white line. And Antonelli turns across him and... bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Right, but this shows it better when they went, oh, we've got a helicopter. We spent all this money on a helicopter. Why don't we use it? Good idea, mate. So you can see Antonelli, if I can see there. There's Piastri, there's Antonelli, and there's poor old Charlie. Just, ignoring everybody and trying to stay chill. A great run. Goes to the inside. His wheel there is definitely alongside the wing mirror. So the FIA have written, some secretaries in the FIA have written some rules. I believe they have got driving licenses, but they've never seen a racing car because they work in an office back in Abu Dhabi or something. And they're probably not allowed to drive there. So they're both turning into the corner. He locks up there. He's nowhere near the white line, but you can tell that he can still steer because he's getting closer and closer to it and going around the corner. But Antonelli is is acting like he hasn't got anybody on the inside. Now, 2 years ago, Antonelli would have got the penalty, wouldn't he? But now they've got this rubber. You've got to be exactly 4 centimetres to the left of the widget that's attached to a tyre near the zone of the, it's just ridiculous. You don't go racing going, well, wait a minute. What do I've got to make sure that my wheel is over there, over here, over there. Let me get my tape measure out while I'm doing 200 mile an hour and trying to brake. Idiots. And he just squeezes him. Piastri is under control because he actually tries to get out the way. But it doesn't work because the Mercedes... Wake up, you blooming thing. The Mercedes... Why is it not going anymore? Oh, was that the last one?
That may have been...
Oh, that's the last one. Okay. Well, there's no point in showing him smashing into Charlie. But no, it's ridiculous. It may have been right in the sense of the letter of the law as written, but it's been written by idiots that don't care about racing in the same way that next year we get rid of DRS for 2 DRSs, the whole car, active aero, under the control of the driver. Yippee! Yeah. And a big battery, and they're going to weigh 900 kilos.
It's very heavy, isn't it, for a Formula 1 car?
I mean, Oh, we're going to try and trim weight off of it. Yeah, you've got a battery.
Yeah.
A set of batteries. That's why they're heavy. That's why modern cars, I mean, Lotus are coming out. Lotus, known for making super light, agile cars with fantastic suspension, owned by this Chinese company who are sending over Chinese battery-powered vehicles that weigh 2.7 tons.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the
metric
legendary
tons.
Lotus reliability. What was it? Lotus,
Well, the
lots of trouble,
engineers are
usually serious.
leaving Hethel.
Yeah.
Usually serious.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they drove
the A11 will get snarled up again.
It's quite a thing. It was a good race. I mean, I have to say that it was terrible for the Ferraris with obviously Leclerc being put out with that when Antonelli's car hit him. And then, of course, and quite a rare thing because Lewis also got tangled. Normally, he does quite well in Brazil, but he got tangled up in the first corner and lost bits and pieces. Didn't he? That had damage to his under tray, and eventually had to just retire. And I kind of felt it was
Lewis.
I think the Ferraris actually looked quite decent. Again, you kind of felt Lewis could have maybe come through the field because I think he'd gone up like 4 places at the start, and he was looking quite good. And
he got a penalty as well, didn't he? Because he rear-ended someone. Why not penalty?
That's right. Was it not Gasly? I think was it Gasly he went into, but it was quite a thing. But no, it was quite an intense race. I did find that I was actually quite interested in watching it right the way through when I watched it on Sunday Live. And normally I could quite easily turn away if it gets a bit dull. But to be fair, and I was very pleased at the end when Lando won because it was a decent, dominant performance by him. I think he's genuinely stepped up to the plate.
I'm glad we didn't put money on it.
I was hoping that Hülkenberg would win. Remember that was my But yes, Simon, what do you think of Lando's performance?
Yeah, you got to give him credit for the last couple of races. He suddenly appeared from nowhere, hasn't he? Really, suddenly he's switched on again.
Yeah.
I just hope Oscar takes it to the last race. I really hope in the next couple of races he can suddenly, like I mentioned last week, just go, well, I ain't got no pressure anymore. Just go for it. Because he does seem recently, shall we say, the last 3 or 4 races, he's been driving like he's got a ton on his shoulders. So I just hope he can just relax and just go, well, I've got nothing to lose now. So, maybe that'll just release something. But no, you can't fault Lando in whatsoever. Very, very impressive. Maybe it is his time.
It's like they've swapped, isn't it? It's like they've swapped personalities.
Yeah. Like they're mentally swapped.
Oscar's acting like he's got all this. Yeah, mentally swapped, or maybe they've swapped bodies. You never know. It's like
very weird, isn't it?
But in the Ecclestones come out of there. I am Voldemort. Something like that. I don't know.
So yes, but no, really, he's done it particularly well. And I have to say, and he's very calm now, isn't he? He's like he's kind of just taking it race by race, and doing this great job. To win both races because he wasn't seen to be. They all thought Verstappen would win both races, but Verstappen's qualifying was poor, and in the race, although in the Grand Prix, he did come right the way through the field.
It's almost like that had race pace, but not 1 lap pace.
Yeah.
So it made you wonder if they'd built it for the race and then hoped, the rain would come and he could just come all the way through, but it didn't work out that way. But it seemed more like that car was built for race pace than it was qualifying. They probably hoped that he could pull one out of the bag, get it up to about 6th or 7th, and then he could do it in the race. But when you start near the back, or in the end, he started from the pit lane.
Yeah, from the pit lane, wasn't it?
Yeah, that does make it different then.
I listened to a guy called Peter Windsor, who's been in F1 for 50 odd years or something. He used to work for Williams and personal friends with the likes of Frank Williams, that kind of stuff. And him and also on the race have Gary Anderson, the technical director guy that was for Jordan and all that kind of stuff. And they are both saying that one of the problems at the moment is that no one knows how the tyres work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like who was it? Was it Sauber or no? It was Alpine, wasn't it? We're doing really well this weekend, and they managed to switch the tyres on and not overheat.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
The problem, and then Red Bull this weekend, they simply couldn't get the tyres switched on. So Max is saying, "I've got no grip." Now, often he's like that on the Friday, and then they'll free practice 2. They sort of sort it out a bit, and then he gets faster. But of course, with the sprint weekend, you don't get a free practice 2; you just get the sprint.
Yeah.
And the problem is, when they get him to get it to work, they don't know why. So they've got all these seriously, and this is it never occurred to me, because I guess like most people are thinking they've got all this technology now. They've got the wind tunnels, they've got the CFD computers with the teraflops of processing power and all this kind of stuff. But if you can't program it, if you can't actually program it with parameters that tell you that because you understand it, think about Mercedes. They designed that car and they could never get it to work. And every now and again, there'd be a weekend where the tyres worked, and it's all about the tyres. They can get all this downforce on it, but if the tyres don't switch on, waste of time. They have absolutely no pace. And that's why there's been so much. There's been so races where it's weird. Suddenly a Ferrari will be fast, or a Mercedes will be quick, and you're like Russell winning that race, and the only car on the field that's consistently been able to switch the tyres on has been the McLaren. It's been very consistent in its pace, but they don't know why. They just know that they've got it.
It's very balanced, isn't it, the McLaren, compared to everything else? Everything else either works in hot conditions or works in cooler conditions. So the McLaren just seems to be able to tickle along in any type of condition.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's why they've got the points they've got. It's because they've been consistently.
And they're not going to come out and say, "Oh, this is why we've been able to do it." They keep the cars close to the chest, obviously. So there's obviously a reason why they've been able to do it. They might not know what they do, and that's why you keep it quiet, and none of the other teams can work it out. But when you've looked at all the manoeuvres of people who have gone from team to team to team to team, McLaren have a lot of the talented ones at the moment. Yeah. Where Mercedes and Ferrari have lost out on and Red Bull have lost out on quite a few people. Yeah, it's not a Harriet, is it, Rue? I was waiting to see that comment.
I've been kind of watching. We've only watching the Brazilian Grand Prix for many years, and you do get quite a lot of dry races. But the last couple of years, it's been quite wet and quite changeable, and also I think quite cold. It's not been anywhere near as warm as it usually would have been. And it's kind of, you kind of think, is the Brazilian Grand Prix kind of staged at the right time of year to kind of get the best out of it, or are they hoping for rain?
But it always used to be around March, April time, didn't it? It used to be the second or third round, and then they flipped it, and it used to be always the last round. It always produced a great final race of the season until they moved it to Abu Dhabi, big boredom track. Brazil was always a great finale because it just produced good races.
It's quite interesting, though. I mean, I do like the way that Abu Dhabi kind of finishes the season, because you've got, it starts off in the sunlight and then in turn it kind of goes out into the darkness, and it gets lit up. I think it is quite a nice way that they finish it. And I have to say, when I've watched like home videos of people that have been there, and I've watched it from there, it does look like there's a quite a good build up and atmosphere. But I don't know. It's one I would love to go and see. I have to say, if anyone in the comments has seen it from Abu Dhabi, let us know, because we'd love to get to hear your story about that. But no, that would be super. And there's a quick plug for Rue and Simon's channel. You can, I think actually, there, if you want to put your YouTube links in the description or in the comments, you're more than welcome.
No,
it'd be great to subscribe to them if you want.
Watch me.
But
the one I did on the new wheel. See the one I did on the new wheel?
I'll have to watch that. Because you got the bargain. You got the bargain of the century.
I did a lot of. Oh, that's fantastic! That was. I was so pleased. And it gives a lot of feedback. Just still no more talk. That's because you went for a Thrustmaster. I had so many. When I was first looking into them, before I got the G29, and I was watching all these videos, and there's so many people saying it's really nice, it's fantastic, and then it breaks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. Whereas the G29, maybe not quite so good, but it doesn't break so much. So it's like, oh. So I was quite pleased when I got the G29.
Yeah. No, it's I got the 923, that your old one, and I got a power replacement, thinking that might be the issue with it, because it's just clicking when you turn it on and when you plug it in, but it's still just doing the same thing. So it must be an internal thing. So one of my friends is an electrician, and I'm going to give it to him, and he's going to see if he can take it to bits and see if anything is loose, and see if he can fix it for me, because I reckon it might just be a little loose connection somewhere that's causing that, and then see how it goes. But some equipment doesn't always last that long, does it? It's thankfully not quite as reliable. And that was the other thing in the Grand Prix. There were a few cars obviously that went out more due to accident damage and things like that. But they are lasting pretty well throughout the season in terms of reliability. There are not too many failures to finish for the majority of the teams. You might get maybe 2 or 3 cars. Sometimes you only get a couple.
No comparison to back at the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
not like the old days.
Yeah. Half the field.
Not like the old days when that beautiful Ilmor Mercedes V10 used to howl past and then spit out oil everywhere on fire.
Yeah.
There was Hakkinen and Coulthard both exploded their engines in the final lap, and they were winning, weren't they?
Well, it was during an advert break, wasn't it?
Yeah. No.
They went to an advert. And Murray Walker was like, "You will not believe what's happened." And Hakkinen was on the side of the road, and Coulthard pulled off as well.
I know, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? It's that kind of thing. That now I thought we would quickly move on as well to the pictures of the new Audi F1, which was just launched this week. To lots of critical acclaim
on there.
Yeah, very because that's going to be the Sauber,
really?
isn't it? That's from
that's critical acclaim.
Well, they were quite impressed with the way it was all.
What? The way they got 2 Lego sets and stuck them together accidentally. What the hell? Oh no! They've sent me 2 halves of 2 different cars. What the hell is that?
But I do like the look of it, though. I do like. I know modern Formula 1 cars are too big, but at least it does look balanced in terms of for the size of it. It's kind of a nice looking machine. Even the halo isn't as bad as it used to be. But I think I still prefer the American version, for the IndyCar, because they've got a kind of glass cockpit that kind of goes round.
They look weird.
Yeah, but I don't mind that so much. But that's any more. Yeah, that's the one from a bit further away. But it's interesting. At least the cars do look quite good.
Do they look any different though? I mean,
they're
not the same.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, it's obviously this is for the regulations for next year, isn't it? So I don't know what different. Obviously, apart from the engine that you can't see.
They look the same. Well, it's just going to be a big washing machine motor, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's going to interesting to see what it will sound like. If it'll be any louder than the current ones, or if it'll be just the same. We'll have to see what happens when they come along.
I've got to find this. Have
you got a sound for us?
Oh, this is fantastic.
You can share the audio.
No. It was someone did a sort of a mock-up, a meme.
Of the new cars. I do. I quite like the silver in the color bit there. I have to admit. What do you think, Simon? Are you a fan of this one?
It's almost trying to be a McLaren from the mid 2000s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or Vodafone McLaren a little bit.
Yeah, it is a bit trying to be. Yeah. And then, of course, there's Cadillac.
MP419B. What it is.
Yeah. No, that's it, isn't it? That's it. I'll see if I can find the other one that we had, because I know we had some new ones. Hang on, I'll put that off. Let's see. Oh no, I should be able to get some. Just here. Aha, look, I've got lots of them here. Let's see. Ah, yes, this is the new Cadillac in testing. So I will just quickly share this for you, and then we'll see the new one. There we go. So this is the Cadillac. So it's that's with Sergio Perez driving that one, and some very busy Ferrari mechanics watching away in the background. At least they're a bit younger than they used to be, because I remember watching it in the 90s when it was Mansell's era, and most of the mechanics were looked like they were in their 60s or 70s, and they were sitting around having a cigarette in the pit lane at Monaco when the race was on. But they were some of the Ferrari people discussing what's been going on. And that
just imagine if it was like Prost or Ligier. Where is my cafe? English. Right, I can't find it. What it was somebody was complaining. It was a whole video on how the whole of Formula One's ruined now because they've got these hoovers instead of engines.
Yeah.
On the back. And they'd somehow managed to meld one of those Dyson-style hoovers into the back deck shape. And it really fitted beautifully. It was about the right shape to sit there.
Yeah,
of an F1 car. It's just a really good image. I mean, instead of it being an engine, it was a Henry Hoover kind of thing, you know? Yes.
It's crazy the noise that they do.
Why would you take the picture of someone behind? And then what's she doing here? Is she taking a picture of
video
behind?
Maybe a video of saying that she's what. But Ollie Behrman, to be fair, he has done really well. I think he has been a real star, a real star of the. I mean, the Haas has been amazing. But I think he's done. His driving is good. He's consistent, finishing in the top 10. In fact, one time was he not fifth? I think fourth or fifth in one of his races. I think was it not the Brazilian, but it was the last one. Was it in Mexico?
Fourth, I think, yeah.
Was it fourth? Yeah. I mean, it was genuinely decent actually, and I think a real kind of emerging star. It's great to see that. Remember him, Rubens Barrichello. That always seen that.
Rubino.
That and what
trained up by Jackie Stewart when he was in Stewart Grand Prix, and he went from being fast but inconsistent to being fast and consistent. It was very good then.
Yeah, and then we've got.
Imagine being trained by Jackie Stewart to drive a racing car. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it done because they did it with James May, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was pretty good.
I actually remember.
On the power.
I think that's Bartolo's sister, I think. No, Eagle Rustic looks on in the paddock. I don't know who that is.
Oh, and that's another great thing they're still doing. 15-minute reactions of someone we don't care about in the crowd or in the pits. It's because every time I go to the theatre or the cinema, what I do is I pay my money, go in, turn round and watch the audience for the whole thing. Because that's why I'm there, isn't it?
So there are lots of famous people. There's Botello.
He looks like... See, Helen's daughter likes lads that look like that with the broccoli. They call it broccoli hair.
It is quite good, isn't it? There we are. There we are. And Toto Wolff, similarly, he's selling some shares in Mercedes.
And it's 6 billion worth or something like that.
Yeah, but it's similarly worth about 6 billion altogether on the whole.
It's all right when you can do that, isn't it? Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Sold some shares in.
That's Racer Lille. Whoever Racer Lille is. That is that. I don't know who that is. Helen is watching. Good to see it. We're going through the pictures of the Grand Prix.
She was asleep, I bet.
And we have there. That's not Hajar. That's Hajar, is it not?
Yeah, Isaac Hajar.
Isaac Hajar. That he's done pretty well. Yep, they've done really well, hasn't he? Yep. And
he's a typical cocky youth though, because he comes up to someone like Alonso, who's done more than Hajar probably ever will, and he goes, "Yeah, this idiot, get him out of my way!" And it's like, "Oh boy, shut up."
White
Remember
Wedding.
Billy Idol, exactly. Billy Idol is there. He's always quite funny,
man.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the stupidest pop stars ever to have lived. I was watching an interview of him in the 80s or whatever it was, and it's like, so what are you interested in? And he goes, girls, bike. It's like, okay. And then he had a massive, because he rides around with no helmet, he had a massive crash and he killed himself. It's like, idiot. What a helmet on.
So there's quite a lot of oh yeah, this was quite good. I quite like this actually. And similarly, two of the cars broke down, these little electric buggies, and they raced them down. They raced them around the whole circuit.
Oh, Helen sent me a picture.
That might look more fun.
But they all basically ignored what they had to do and started piling on each other's cars. There was one where they had two older drivers on the back with a young one.
Yeah, even George Russell got into the Red Bull and was sitting next to Max Verstappen. I was in shock.
Yeah.
I thought Verstappen would push him off.
Get out.
Yeah, I think that was quite fun. They did it at Miami, didn't they? I'm sure Miami had was it the Lego cars, or one of them had Lego cars, full-size Lego cars, weren't they? They were quite good.
I'm sure Vegas will do something stupid.
Yes, I wonder what they'll have. But that was the thing. That it was a race to forget for Hamilton and Leclerc. They think that car may have been better than their one. That it certainly it was not great for the Ferraris.
You can see, is Leclerc been badly influenced by Hamilton? Look at him; he can't even put his cap on properly. What's wrong with these people? Do they not understand what it's for?
An old Hamilton. I got a Brazilian flag. Please like me. I'm an Ayrton Senna fan. Please like me. Support me.
Oh,
and then you've got Oscar Piastri. We've got Twitch Mick G Gaming, and he says, "What is your opinion on Haas for the last few races? We were just talking about them. I think they've done extremely well. Well, certainly Ollie Behrman has done brilliantly. I know Ocon has struggled a little bit with the pace, but Ollie Behrman has done really, really well. You're just saying there, you're in agreement with me there, I think, Rue, earlier on about that. Hello? Nope. Rue? Are you there?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, All right. I can hear you.
All right, yes, just to say,
can you hear me?
Do you think Ollie? Yep, I can hear you now. Ollie Behrman's performance was pretty good in the Haas over the last few races. But really over the season.
Apparently he's been. Who's looking to snap him up? There's somebody who's looking to snap him up. Was he being talked about with Ferrari?
Well, Ferrari he's part of their young driver program, isn't he?
Right, so it must have been that. Yeah, they were talking about. I think it was the race. They were, when they've got nothing to write about, they try and think of something to write about, and they were talking about how possibly Hamilton might go and Behrman come in instead. Something like that.
That's right.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Hamilton to Haas?
No.
Yeah,
you could probably buy the team.
But I am
actually,
I am a 7 times world champion. He has to remind people.
8 times if you ask some people.
7.5 times world champion, depending on whether you. I was doing, because she got this weird and wonderful system of having the portrait versions. I noticed it had a full screen thing, and I also noticed that it had the comments next to it. So I clicked on it.
Poor old Alex Albon looks in a bit of pain, eh?
Yeah, it's the ride quality.
It's not exactly the biggest car, though, is it? It's probably. I don't want to sit next to him.
And
the Williams were rubbish this weekend.
Yeah, they struggled.
They're going to team where you keep thinking they'll turn the corner, and then the next race they're nowhere, aren't they? So
yeah, because I think
their car's better with long fast straights, aren't they? Long fast straights. They're not very good at slow corners.
There's the man of F1.
There he
Bernie
is.
Eccleston.
The wizard.
That's it. Yeah, I still wish he was still there. He was better than the American lot that running it. I think it's kind of
vegan.
He was so much.
It's funny though, isn't it? Let's just look at it from this way. When he was there, we all moaned about him, and then when he's gone,
liked him.
Let's have him back.
I liked him. I thought he was good. He's about 90 odd, is he not? Like 93 or 94. I mean, he's ancient. He's genuinely like very, very old. But
Depends
still,
how long
still
he
going
spends out
strong.
of his casket, or if it comes out in the light.
You know, I
He's-
just the
He
classic
was
clip
one of
for
the-
me is getting stuck in the revolving doors.
Yeah.
You know, that's the classic one for me.
Hey, well, I don't know that one. What's that about?
He was when he went to a lawyer's and he was going in these revolving doors. He spoke to the press, walked in them, and went all the way round and came back out again. He didn't realise he'd gone all the way round and come back out.
All
So
right.
he tried to make out he was going to say something else to the press again. But it was quite comical, really. He'd just gone all the way round, and you know,
I would have
didn't get
just
out
kept
the
going
other-
round.
Yeah, but he just
People
came out as
need
if,
to be more
oh
like
yeah, I forgot to say this. But it's
you
like,
and me.
no, Bernie, you got stuck, mate.
Yeah. Now
I
here
would
more
have kept going
pictures.
round and
of
given
course,
him the
at the
V
start.
signs as I went past.
Aye, that's the thing. You can
Do
get, I think, on
this.
the
Get lost.
on F1 on F1.com, which you pay for, but you can get video reviews of things, and I think they can give you some of the onboard shots as well, possibly for that, which is quite good. That yeah, it's amazing that the track is literally right round in the middle of the city, isn't it? And the people can just watch straight from their balconies. A
Well,
bit
I
like
remember.
Monaco,
I remember that those buildings weren't there just a few years ago.
yeah, that's
yeah.
oh, there's Hamilton's Ferrari, as you see, all grounded out and lost its wing, and yeah, it just
Yeah.
this
New
was a-
design.
Just rear-ended somebody else.
yeah,
New
it was a
design
disaster.
called- So it's a new technique he's trying because the telemetry told him he needs to drive with his eyes closed.
That,
Hmm.
but no, that was the Williams, wasn't it? That's the Williams car there. Lots of, and there, of course,
I
is
do
lo-
like the
I don't
green.
know.
Of the,
I don't even know
the
what they're like
Sauber.
anymore. The key. At least
No,
it's distinctive. You know what it is, don't you? It's like
Yeah.
it's green and it hurts your eyes. And you're back at
Yeah.
the start with that girl taking photographs of somebody's bum.
That's the. Now here we
Welcome
go.
to Formula One. We miss the grid girls, don't we?
That must be a.
They
I think
wanted to
some of
make
these
it
fan
even,
pictures are
they could have
quite
got
some quite good pictures there. That's Pierre Gasly, and you don't see them with an ugly girlfriend, that's for sure.
He always,
They're always
he always,
whenever.
he always looks to me like he's 12. It's just
Yeah, he does look quite
permanently
young.
looks 12 and smug. And he looks
they're-
permanently smarmy and smug.
Yeah, it's a kind of.
May
don't know,
I make this clear that there's not all those Norfolk people are not like him.
That's
The rest of you are like you, Ian, and Brundle, isn't it?
Yes, we're all
Oh, and
related.
Stephen Fry. Do you claim Stephen Fry? Or...
Oh God, yeah. He asked my auntie out.
all right. Goodness. It's a.
Apparently so in primary school.
That was a
this
few
was,
years ago then.
at primary school.
Oh, right, okay.
There's
It's
Nico
the
Hülkenberg
Hulk.
still going strong. Yeah,
She walked
I
through a
like.
hedge back. She walked through a hedge backwards.
I'm going to say her hair is not. She's not going to
Wow.
appreciate that photograph.
That is proper. That's Charlie's Angels hair. That is. That's early 1980s Farrah Fawcett majors. You know. Look at it.
Yeah.
Hulkenberg almost
It's
looks
real.
embarrassed by it, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's the
Well,
thing.
we've
We've
got the same haircut. You know. There he is.
Yeah. Look how thin
Old
they are.
Lando
Isn't it? There's
Calrissian.
not a shade of cellulite or fat on there. Not even a beard. Because I remember for a while he used to get a rough patch
Well,
there.
they can't.
But,
I've seen a couple of them say that they can't bulk up because it's too much weight
Yeah.
and it's too wide for the cockpit.
I remember
So
seeing
they have to-
Lando
they
at
have to be-
Thruxton when he was racing F4. He was a little chap, a real. I mean, I'm 6'3", and he was just this tiny little guy, you know. And he had a trophy in his hand. I thought, guys, there's nothing to him. He was just this tiny little boy. Amazing what he's
they are
turned
small.
into.
yeah, no, that's it. And then we've got there's Charles Leclerc, who certainly is the typical French racing driver. I think, isn't it? Very kind of loves the fashion and it's
Ralph
and it's
Lauren.
Yeah, well-
He's not French. He's not French.
Well, he's been in
Monegasque.
Monegasque, isn't he?
Monegasque. Don't you go up to somebody from Monaco and say, "What's it like being French?" Ow!
Yeah,
It's coming up to
Frenchy.
a Welsh nationalist and saying, "You live in England."
uh,
Hiya!
okay, I will move on. I'm
Isn't that
always
right,
good with
Paul? Serenity Paul.
Hello.
Green used to be Jaguar. Eddie Irvine. Eddie Swerving Irvine. Oh, my goodness.
that. Yeah, we miss him.
How
We miss
Ford
him.
are amazing. How they could take such a good and successful team that Jackie and Paul Stewart made and turn it into absolute awful crap of Jaguar.
Yeah.
It's just, look how long it took Red Bull to turn it back around again and just get it vaguely successful. Just as an, so special. It's like, you know, the Beatitude.
I remember reading. I remember reading.
The Beatitude.
I remember reading an interview with Adrian Newey when he went there and trying to change the culture. He was sort of told, you know, and he was in the say, "Oh, we do things. You got to do things like this, you know. Here, you know, you have to do this." He said, "Trying to change that took me 3 years, you know, and that was a problem, you know, when he first went to Jaguar, Red Bull, whatever. You know, it's just trying to change the culture because you can't do it when you're, you know, in Jaguar.
How they'd managed to instill that bad culture in there, because Stewart Grand Prix was brilliant. You consider how small they were and how successful.
They laid the foundations, didn't they? And then they came, Ford just went and decided to go bash straight through them and completely get through the floor.
Well, Ford
not
did
through the ceiling, but through the floor.
Which is through committee. It's through committee, isn't it? It's like the Beatitudes. You know, there's the 11th Beatitude, which is for God so loved the world, he didn't send a committee. You know?
Yeah, that was the one.
I knew someone that used to work for Cosworth when they did a lot of engine testing for Ford and all this kind of stuff. And do you remember that they had the old Cologne and Essex V6s in the Capri and then in the Sierra and the Granada 2.9 V6? And then they made that, I'm not quite sure what it was, but it had wheels and it looked like...
Oh, the Scorpio.
It was loosely
made that.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Possibly the ugliest car I've ever seen. But they put a fantastic 24-valve V6 engine in it, which was a Cosworth modification of the old V6.
Yeah.
It developed 195 brake horsepower. And my friend was part of the team that was bench testing that engine. And when they were bench testing it, it was more like 215 brake horsepower.
Wow.
But what happened was the exhaust committee...
catalytic converters, said,
no, you just can't have that exhaust. Don't put that exhaust on it. We want this exhaust on it. There was like a committee for every single part of an engine and a car. And if the engineers designed something in the car and the committee went, well, that's not the one we want on it. So they put an exhaust on it. It wasn't nothing to do with the catalyst. It was simply the design of the exhaust. They put an exhaust on it that sat 20 horsepower off of it. It's like
bloody fist pumping. Can't stand
it.
It's amazing.
Now there was a man that could have won and very nearly did, and has once again proven that he is very good in Brazil. Very, very good in Brazil. And you can't write him. I mean, he could finish quite easily ahead of Piastri in the championship at this rate. You know, it's kind of, if he has a strong performance in the next few races, he'll be right there. And of course, Lando has a 24-point lead over Piastri just now. If he has a strong performance again in Vegas, he could be leading by over 25 points. In fact, he could be even almost over a race victory. And he only needs to really finish reasonably well in Qatar, and he would have it.
Confirm this. As I understand it, even if Piastri wins every single race, if Norris comes in second in all of those races, he'll still win the championship. So
because there's 7 points into each time. So 21 points is
Imagine that situation where even if you go, right, all I can do is win, and that isn't enough. You've still got to have some kind of luck. So in a way, he'll want Verstappen to be just good enough to beat Norris.
It's very similar. It's very similar to when Nico Rosberg won the title. Yeah. When Hamilton, he kept winning the last few races, didn't he, after the failure in Malaysia? But he needed something to happen to Rosberg, but it didn't, which didn't happen.
I loved that last race at Abu Dhabi, though. He was deliberately slowing everybody down behind him just so that people would be close to Rosberg, So they've
Yeah,
tried
Lewis,
to
can you pick up the pace,
overtake him.
please, Lewis? I'm trying to win a championship here. Please leave me alone.
That was a classic, actually. I kind of so wanted him.
Can you pick up
to-
the
I
pace?
was I was
No.
hoping that Rosberg would be taken out
Lost.
for that one, and that Hamilton would get it. But it was quite fun. But
He
yeah,
was
what
such a dangerous driver. I mean, him and Max, two peas in a pod, where they swerve across the road dangerously. God, I remember Webber used to yell on the radio, "What an idiot!" It's just really because he'd do something like he'd swerve 5 times and try to smash into the side of somebody so they don't get past. Like, wow.
No, it's quite a thing. Let's have a look at the standings.
What I would say there, Helen, is it could work the other way. He may now think, no pressure, might as well just go out there and race. So it could work either way.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the way that McLaren are so far ahead. Obviously, they won that constructors a long time ago, but it's quite a thing. Driver reprimands, that's a good one. Sonoda's got 2 reprimands. Albon 2, Hamilton 1, Lawson 1. Oscar Piastri 1 and Russell 1. So yeah, still people getting handed out all sorts of issues and problems that they're going to have to face. But it was though at least, and I think it was quite a good race to watch. And I think the next 3 are going to be good. Including now, is the sprint at Qatar? I'm just trying. Is it Qatar that's got the sprint race? So who's got the next sprint race? I'll look there.
You've got the web page up.
Hang on.
Come on.
You're
asking us. You've got a web page. Sort yourself out, you weirdo.
Vegas, and then Qatar. Although it doesn't say what it's going to be on there. Hang on.
My dad used to have quite a lot of Qatar. He had all sorts of chest problems.
I know. There we go.
Did he play it as well?
So we've got Vegas on the 23rd.
He didn't play the Qatar, but he did smoke a pipe.
Okay.
Here we are. Yes, it's Qatar. It's got sprint, which is on the 29th of November at 2:00. But so that's going to be that will be the next one.
What kind of indentured servants are they going to use for setting it up?
Well,
will Gary Lineker come along and commentate on it like a tit?
It's certainly. I mean, it's got it. I think it's actually got everything in the making to make a really good end of season, quite a memorable season. And I think if Lando gets it, it'll be good for him. I think it will be. I think the way that he's stepped up in these last few races, and if he continues on that way, then I think he'll deserve it. But shows you just a couple of races. I mean, at one point he was 34 points behind, and look at that now, he's 24 points ahead, and he's had to pretty much fight for every bit of it. So it's a thing. So we've got a week. It's a week on Sunday before the next Grand Prix at Vegas. Now, this is the one, of course. No, actually, it'll be the Saturday night probably in Europe because they're about 8 hours behind us, aren't they? So it's I'm just trying to think the way they do it. They change all the timing, so it's a night race. So I think it's very late at night for us in Europe. But it should be quite a good one. It's quite a fast track, lots of overtaking. It can usually be quite exciting. What do you think, Simon? Do you think it's going to be a good race?
If I remember last year, probably not.
I agree with Simon.
No. Yeah. Well, wasn't that the one with the drain cover problems and everything like that? Hitting
and
drains.
Don't get the heat.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I
don't foresee it being a classic this time. It's not a track that when I saw it, before we raced there, it didn't envisage me with great hopes, and the race proved it to be last season. So, I think it's more, the F1 owners are more a flagship of show and race. It's a showpiece more than anything to do with racing. Yeah, to do with racing. I hope I'm wrong. I was wrong about Piastri winning, but then that was more out of hope than actually thinking he would win. But yeah, so and I'm going to say again Piastri because I just want him to make it interesting. I want to take it down because I think if Norris wins again at Vegas, I think that's it. over. And then
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
Piastri has a bad race, if he's below third or fourth, I think it's pretty much going to be over. I think because he'd really struggle. Because then if Lando wins it, if wins in Vegas, then he could well have a 35-point or 40-point advantage, and it he could be quite high up there. So it would be very difficult for him to do that. But the race can. I mean, I know last year wasn't so good, but the year before was good, and it does have some great long straights and some quite good S bends. And the start finish is quite an interesting one. And again, of course, it's under the lights of Vegas, with all that, but that big kind of hologram thing that they've got, isn't it? The Holodrome or something that they paid huge amounts of money for, that advertises all the sponsors and things. It's certainly a way of marketing the Grand Prix, but it would be nice if it turns out being a good one. But no, that's the thing. But have you enjoyed your second show on our F1 and Motorsport show tonight? Has it been good fun?
No. Yes. Yes. I'm joking. Yeah. Just one thing I want. Just one thing I want to bring up. Did you see where they certain art publications are saying, "Oh, Antonelli's broken Lewis Hamilton's rookie record points total for the year," and you think, "Well, hang on a minute. The point system's totally different.
Yeah,
there are more races.
Yeah.
Well, this is pointless.
Sure.
It's a bit like saying, "Oh, Hamilton's beaten Jim Clark's rookie total for the year." What nonsense journalism that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it
they
really
they all do it.
They're struggling to make a headline.
This is all people that do not understand statistics or numbers even.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be F1 publications or Grand Prix. Yeah, and I just think, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, but they've got. I don't buy them
anything.
Anymore. I won't buy Autosport or anything because.
I just see them online. Where I don't buy them anymore. I just see them online.
Yeah. They're just not very, very capable, and they're looking for a headline they can try and see. But when you think of the old point system, it was 10 points for a win and 6 points for second, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you really
9.
The old 9, and then the best 11 results counted.
At the beginning, they did 9 races and they picked the best 6 first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
The best one. There are some people out there that do understand the numbers, and I've always liked looking at the percentage wins. And hands down, the best percentage win, in a simplistic sense, literally of race starts, is, of course, Fangio.
Yeah.
Jimmy Clark's quite a long way up there. Scarry.
Clark is still up there.
He's up there.
That's what I mean. You look at them.
Hold on. I haven't finished. And it was on one of Peter Windsor's streams, and he's got a mate who's mad on doing numbers, and he decided that he would look at it in terms of take away unreliability. So you're just looking at the ability of the driver and the car. And if you do it on race finishes rather than race starts, by a significant margin, Jimmy Clark is the best driver we've ever had. He's just way and above it. I mean, even compared with Fangio. And that's saying
the only reason why I always put Clark ahead of Fangio is because in Fangio's day, he could nick his teammate's car.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason why I would always put Jim, because that didn't happen in Clark's day. If he was out, he was out. But Moss often used to have to give up his car to Fangio, and Fangio took it on over, or whatever teammate it was. That's the only way. That's the only reason why, personally, myself, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, I always put Clark ahead of Fangio.
Yeah.
I
mean, what incredible drivers, really.
What gets me about Fangio, I mean, with Clark, it's like just such. He didn't make mistakes. This is like the whole thing about the way he died. Everybody who knew him was afraid, because if he could die, anyone could die, because he just did not make mistakes. There's not a chance in hell. And watching Jackie Stewart talk about it, I mean, I tear up even thinking about it. But Jackie Stewart was angry, going that his best friend, one of his best friends, died in violence up a tree because of something that was not his fault. And he said, anyone that thinks that he made a mistake isn't a moron. He was superb. But I don't sort of compare them I can't compare those two in a simplistic manner, if that makes any sense to you. I just look at Fangio, and he only competed in Formula One for those 8 years. And one of those years he had a broken back. So he got 5 World Championships in 8 years. And it actually was only in 7 years for 4 different manufacturers. Or 3. Hold on, there's an Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, Maserati, 3. And he should have been the first world champion, in my opinion. I mean, Farina was a sulking moron. And he kept causing accidents that stopped everyone behind him in races and stuff like this. But yeah, I just think that what the guy achieved, and then there's that race in the Nordschleife. My goodness. 3-hour races in those days, of course, where there was a botched pit stop. And he'd lost the lead. I've got one of my pictures up there is the top centre one. I put it top centre, my picture's up there. Was it Peter Collins and Mike Hawthorne in the Ferraris? And they had like several minutes lead on Fangio because this botched pit stop. So he chased them down, overtook them, and won by minutes. And when he got out the car, his tyres were shredded and he was shaking. He broke the lap record 11 times. 11 times in one race, the lap record. He got out the car shaking, going, I'm never doing that again. Because I think it's the only time in his racing career where he drove at full speed. All the other times he kept something in reserves because, people died. Everything was below his actual capabilities. And on that one, he put his head down and he drove at full speed for every single lap.
Yeah.
And that's just astonishing. And on the Nordschleife, of all places, it's not like, the Nordschleife and Spa were the most dangerous tracks on the planet.
Yeah.
Other than the wooden board racing in America. It's just stuff like that. And then Jimmy Clark, it's just angers me because what could he have achieved? He was completely loyal to Lotus Trouble usually see.
Yeah.
So, of course, that broke down every 10 seconds. He only got 2 world championships. He should have got more if the car had been reliable, or perhaps if he'd gone to teams with a more competitive car. We don't know what he could have achieved, but the stats do tell you. And Moss is another one. Why did he not get more world championships? He was superb. He was really good. And in that statistical thing that Peter Windsor was talking about, he was very high up as well. He was above, any of the ones today. You're right, Simon. I'm not arguing with you in any way whatsoever. He was.
I always think Fangio was like the gentleman driver, wasn't he? In the sense that, because I remember Moss saying when he won the British Grand Prix, he said, and he followed him basically. He was literally right behind him, and he said, "Oh, did you let me win?" He said, "No, your race, today. That was your race, your home Grand Prix." He would never admit to him that probably he let him win.
Absolutely not.
But
absolutely not.
With Sterling Moss, he's pretty nifty in a little electric wheelchair as well, or whatever the Mobo kart trolley thing he was on. Saw him at the NEC in Birmingham, the Classic Car Show, and he absolutely zipped past me. My dad was a little bit further ahead of me, and I was going like that. Sterling Moss just came zooming past, just in and out every little gap.
I once saw him in a little car. It was a little Mini Cooper he had. He had a tiny wee car, and he was in London. It was in the nice part. It was near Buckingham Palace. And I was walking along with my sister, and we saw him race past, and then he turned around and he came back again. And so he must have been on a wee run, but I know quite a guy.
He lived in. Didn't he live in central London somewhere? Like a purpose-built house.
The poor thing, he had an accident. He fell down a lift shaft, didn't he? He fell down a lift shaft.
This purpose-built house had its own lift in it. He'd had one installed when it was being built, and then something went wrong, and he in his 60s was. 70s?
I think he was old. It was not. It was quite. It wasn't not too long before he died, was it not? It was a few years before he died.
Yeah, about 5 years before he died, wasn't it? Something like that. But yeah, and he
Yeah.
fell down the lift shaft, broke both of his legs at that age. It's like,
Yeah, goodness. I don't know. That was the thing. But on that note, we've done just under an hour of the F1 and Motorsport Show, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, you two, Rue and Simon. And to everybody watching and listening, this will be on Podbean as well, and we hopefully might put it on Spotify too. And if you like what you've been hearing and watching, please consider giving us a like or subscribing to the channel, as we'll be back again for many more. Are you wanting to come back, you two, next week? And we'll talk more about Formula One.
Are we predicting again, or are we leaving that till next week?
Oh, well, I suppose the Grand Prix is a week on Sunday. So we can, unless you have a particular prediction that you would like to
No. If we're going to be on next week, then I'll leave it till next week. So that's fine.
I predict there won't be a Grand Prix this weekend.
An easy one there. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening. It's been the F1 and Motorsport Show with Rue and Simon and me, Hugh Hatrick. It's great to see you. Drive fast, don't crash, and we'll be back very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.